The recording has started. We will begin the Q&A session now. And I want to stress to you out there that today I'd like to focus on, it's actually, think of it less as a Q&A and more of an ask me anything. So you can talk about past jobs, you can talk about anything. You can talk about what my cat's name is or what my favorite color is. I don't know. Anything. So yeah, you can talk about Chili's. You can talk about when I bust tables and did stuff like that at Chili's. How awesome that was. So yes, today is an AMA and Q&A or whatever. If you want to talk about art, then go ahead. Why did they get rid of the Awesome Blossom? Oh my gosh. Oh, let me tell you why they got rid of that. Let me tell you. When I was working back there at Chili's, we did have the Awesome Blossom. And every now and then, basically, let me tell you what it was. It was a deep fried onion. It was basically just basically like onion rings, except they're not rings. It's just like the whole onion. And they fry it out so it looks like petals. And then they deep fry the entire thing. And you will not believe how many calories was in that thing. If you ate an entire Awesome Blossom, you would have downed 1,800 calories. And they probably were starting to get complaints of health issues from people actually eating those. And I don't blame them, so I guess that's why they had to get rid of the Awesome Blossom. It would kill you. If you ate an entire Awesome Blossom like for weeks, like just one day out of the week, yeah, you'd probably die. All right. What kind of... okay, these are funny questions. I like this. What kind of sorcery... What kind of sorcery do you have your... What kind of sorcery do you use to have your teeth always white? Okay. There's actually, well, my teeth, I've heard that people say that my teeth are white, but I think what it is actually this good old little camera, this little HD webcam. I think it actually increases the contrast of my teeth, and it makes them look a lot whiter than they actually are. Because they're just kind of normally white, but this, seriously, I don't know, it just makes them look like they're, I don't know, like glowing. But I kind of like it. It's nice. I actually think the camera just in general makes me look more attractive. Maybe that's why I enjoy looking at myself so much. I'm like, who is that handsome devil? And then I look at the mirror. See, I look at here, and I'm like, man, that guy's good looking. That guy's beautiful. Don't mind if I do. And then I go over to that mirror, and I look at myself, and I'm just like, oh, it's just normal me. It's just normal me. I like webcam me better. All right, let's see. Show us your cat. I don't know if I can actually go grab it because it's in... It's kind of like my room is like separated from the house. It's like it's a renovated garage actually. We've renovated, so I have to go into the house to grab it, and I don't know if I have time to do that. I don't want to step away for that long. But maybe one time I can have the cat in here. But it sheds everywhere. It gets hair everywhere. And it's not exactly my cat. It's my friend's girlfriend's cat. Do you think that it's ever too late to start following a career in art? I'm 19 and just started to get into it. Party Frank is asking this. All right, this is very good. Okay, so no, it is never too late to start with your art career. If you're 19 or 50 or even 80 years old, you could be like, hey, I want to start doing some paintings. I want to be an artist. And you can actually learn. From what I've seen growing up is that the older that you get, I think once you hit like your adulthood, you tend to like grasp onto techniques and ideas a lot faster than you usually would. Like when you're young, you tend to be a little bit more like, I like to think that's when your mind is more malleable and you can create something that's new. But when you're going for techniques that are already kind of like existing and you're learning stuff about color theory or composition and values and stuff like this that people have already researched and figured out, it seems like you can learn those a lot faster. So I wouldn't be discouraged at all, especially 19. I mean, you're so young. It's like there's no reason for you to even worry about that. Just take it up as a hobby, and if you find that it is very fun for you, if it brings you a lot of enjoyment, then continue doing it. There's no reason why anybody can't be a professional artist. All right. Party Thomas asks, why do birds appear when suddenly you are near? Are you talking about the are you talking about the crow? I don't know why that crow is crowing that one day. That crow was cawing. It's cawing one day. Maybe it was an omen. I don't know of how terrible today was going to be. Oh, it's a song. Wow, total fail. Yes, epic fail. All right, that one's getting edited out. Just kidding. I'm just gonna leave it as it is. You guys got me with that one. Oh, we got the words a little mixed up. Okay, so it's not complete fail. Good. Woo! After the crow caws, Swain is close behind. Yes. All right, next question. We do some more about the Awesome Blossom and chilies and stuff like that. I like those questions. No, not really though. Not really. I also worked at Olive Garden for a little while. I was actually a host. So when you walk in the doors, I would be that guy at the podium being like, "Welcome to Olive Garden. How many in your party today?" And I cannot tell you how many times I've actually said that. And I used to get in so much trouble because oftentimes people would come up and they'd be like, "Oh yeah, party of 5, and the name's blah, blah, blah." And I was like, "What? Sorry, what was that?" And then they'd already be gone. So I had to like make up a name for them. And one time I wrote down on the list, it was like this group of old people, right? And I just wrote down some peeps, right? Party of 5. And so when their name we usually call the name that's put down, right? So if it's like Carol, party, or whatever, we'll yell it if they don't respond to the buzzer, or if we're out of buzzers, because our Olive Garden was really cheap and we only had like 10 buzzers. It's so funny. So we'd have to call people after a certain amount of time. And so those people came up and they're like, "Is it time for us to get sat yet?" And our manager was like, "Are you some peeps?" They got so ticked. Which I don't know. I don't even understand why they would get mad. What's the big deal? All right. Someone's asking me what my favorite plate is. My favorite plate? I like ceramic. Sometimes paper is good too if I'm like at a picnic or a barbecue. But no, I'm just kidding. No, my favorite plate at Chili's, I had the Southern Burger a few days ago, and I still love that. It is so juicy and bacony and saucy and greasy. It is just like so bad for me, and I know it, but it is a guilty pleasure, and I took pride and enjoyment in eating that thing and stuffing it down my throat. Stuffing it down my gullet. Tell us about something funny that happened at Riot. Let's see. There's funny things that are happening all the time at Riot, but I'll tell you about something that happened recently. No. No, someone didn't fall. I hope not. Well, actually, you know what? Someone did fall at a recent Riot event. Someone did fall at a recent Riot event, and it was actually me. We were actually having a little bit of a pool party for ourselves at Riot. Like, we get together and we do cool things every now and then, right? And we were actually at the pool, and I was so excited. Yeah, I was so excited. I got up out of the pool, right, and I was gonna go do something. I was running, but my feet slipped out from under me because the water and the floor gets really slippery. So I totally just like slipped and ate it right onto the ceramic tile, concrete, or whatever it was on the floor. So yeah, that was pretty funny, and yeah, it was pretty awesome. Yes, I learned about not running at the pool. But however, another thing that happened during the workday was one of our one of our splash artists was actually really sleepy one day, right? So we decided to play a trick on him, and we took a picture of him when he was in his chair, right? And he literally only probably conked out for like 30 seconds, but we caught him, right? And he was just like this. He was like, and we got a picture of him. It was so funny, but we didn't stop there. What we did is every day we have like a splash meeting, and we kind of like, we scroll through the splashes, right? We kind of pull them up one at a time onto the screen. And what one of my coworkers did was he took that picture of my friend sleeping, and then he put it into the UI of the League of Legends, and it was just like a picture of him where a splash would be, and it was so funny. I loved it so much. So we do all kinds of funny antics and silly jokes like that on each other sometimes. Also, another thing that always happens is, for those of you who saw the Fizz spotlight, the art spotlight, For those of you who saw the mustache get drawn on him really quickly, yeah, that was actually a coworker of mine named Larry. And he likes to do this thing where if you don't lock your computer before you get up and walk around, he'll run over to your desk while you're away and he'll draw on whatever it is you're working on. And I was working on the time lapse of Fizz, and he drew the mustache on there. And he usually draws mustaches. And then I try to get him back when he's away. I draw like funny faces on his stuff too. So we're always just playing all kinds of tricks. We're just a bunch of children over there. All right, so moving on. I will take. Let's go ahead and go to 8:30 tonight. So we have about 7 minutes left. Let's take another couple questions before we finish up. Another couple questions. By the way, this scene is awesome. I'm gonna see if I can get a screenshot of this and post it up on the Facebook. There we go. Questions. We can play some Duck Duck Goose if you want. You guys are already in the circle. Oh, oops. Wrong button. Just trying to take a screen cap. Jeez. Oddest food I've ever eaten. Okay, let's see. The oddest food I've ever eaten is a fish skeleton, a deep fried fish skeleton. It was at this sushi place. I went there with my friend, and what they do is basically they take the entire fish, they take the fish head. It's the fish head with the spine and all of the bones attached to it and the tail, and they dip the entire thing into the cooking oil, and they fry it. They flash fry it, right? And then they just put it on a stick, and then you eat it. It was awesome, except for like the head was kind of like, it was really crunchy, and I almost ate all of it, but there was like a little bit like some like parts that didn't get fully like crispified, and so it was kind of chewy and nasty. I don't know. It was definitely interesting. I'm glad I did it, but it wasn't very enjoyable, as some of you might think. All right. What? Oh, hey, this is a really good question, having to do with the latest splash arts going into the game. I'm glad you actually asked this party time what, and I'll be happy to answer your question. So his question was, what are your thoughts on the Chinese art being implemented into the North American server? All right. So let me tell you about this. There's some things that I don't like about it, but then there's other things, like I understand why we're doing it, but there's some that I don't agree with us putting into it. Like, let's see, what's a good example? The Renekton, right? The Renekton I think is a big one because while it is it's a cool picture and it's an awesome like composition and it looks like this awesome alligator guy, right? Or crocodile, whatever he is. But it's not exactly how Renekton looks in the game, right? Like he has a little bit more of like a cartoony look to him. He has more character. It's not just like a crocodile face jammed onto a humanoid body. So I feel like some of these splashes, while they do look awesome and pretty and they're rendered well and the textures look good, I feel like there's a little bit of the old style of LoL that's being lost with the implementation of them. Personally, that's just my own thing. But, however, I can see why we replaced the Renekton one, and that was because the quality in itself was just a little bit nicer to look at. You know what I mean? Like the textures were a little bit better. It was just cleaned up as opposed to the old one, which was just the model that got drawn over and had some, effects added onto it. So we're basically just trying to step up all the splashes so they're kind of on the same level. Yeah, but I agree. A few of them are losing their personality, and it's not always. Obviously, it's not just my decision to make. It's mostly just like the whole Splash team has to get together, and we have producers and stuff. And when they make their call, we go with it, right? So, but you guys don't need to worry too much because the one thing I can tell you is that the Chinese art we're working to up the quality of all of our splashes as quickly as possible. So you might be seeing some of the Chinese art that was in there being, again, sort of like it gets replaced with the Chinese art and then it gets replaced with another art that's done by us in-house that we feel is kind of going back to that personality and the art style of the old LoL. But again, that's pretty much all I can tell you. All right, moving on. Yeah, the Jax I actually feel is pretty cool. It looks a little bit different than his model, but honestly, that's an example where I think we should make the model look like that new Jack Splash because it's pretty sweet. All right, guys, we have 2 more minutes. I will take 2 more questions, and then we are going to wrap up this Q&A session. It looks like it's been going really well. The stream has been working. It hasn't crapped out. Cross your fingers. It goes through the rest of the way, and then we can upload this baby to YouTube, and everybody can enjoy it, especially those lazy people who couldn't download a free game and join us at this time. I don't care if you live in Sweden and it's 3 o'clock over there. I don't care. You need to be on. Just playing. The new Rise looks terrifying. Yeah, the new Rise is pretty crazy. I actually I liked it. Oh, taking a course online. Oh, yeah. Yes. I am actually taking an online course through schoolism.net with a comic book artist by the name of Alvin Lee. He is an amazing artist who's done a lot of really cool promotional stuff for Street Fighter, right? And he's doing a class, an online class, through this website, schoolism.net. And I decided I wanted to join that and kind of brush up on the skills. He's teaching us all about like dynamic perspectives, anatomy, and how to foreshorten stuff. So it's really cool. All the stuff that I'm learning right now is going to be reiterated in some form or another without, obviously plagiarizing his material to the KNKL Daily for free. Because obviously I had to pay for the class. But I think there's some really good, like, little tidbits of information that I really want to share with you guys, and I think that I can do so for free without having a guilty conscience, you know what I mean? So it's called schoolism.com. I'll actually type it really quick. Or schoolism.net. So I went ahead and typed that in the chat for you guys. You guys can check that out. Oh, jeez. All right. What's the story behind your Deviant ID, the Mexican? Wow. Okay. That was actually one of those like old Western kind of sepia tone photo booths at the Magic Mountain. Have you guys ever gone, or like the Six Flags? And I went there with my family one time, and we all kind of got dressed up and we took these pictures, and that was mine basically. And I just took it and I thought it was kind of cool. And I actually photoshopped like a more handlebar mustache and thicker eyebrows on it because I wanted to look more Mexican. And I think that was kind of a term that was kind of being thrown around a lot that was actually when I was living in Utah. So we went to this place I think called Lagoon, which is kind of like a mini Six Flags, and they had a photo booth there. So I don't know, I just put it there just to be funny. I am the Mexican. Oh man. Oh, yeah, Lagoon rocks, man. I love the Ninja, I think that is. There's not a lot of really amazing rides. It doesn't compare to, Six Flags or anything, but it's cool for Utah. I love it. Yes. Yes. And yes, I am Hispanic. I'm half Hispanic and I'm half Irish, actually. That is my nationalities. Having my last name be Lafferty, it's obvious I'm some part Irish. In fact, I really want to take some time eventually to go to Ireland and Scotland. Not only because it's part of my heritage, but they got some fine-looking babes down there, and I wouldn't mind talking to some of them. So, like they'd want to talk to me anyway, but well, we'll see what happens. Oh, do I speak Spanish? Unfortunately, I don't really speak a lot of it because, and this is the terrible part, I'm actually a disgrace to half of my race. I took 3 years of Spanish in high school, and that was pretty much like my nap time because I honestly I wasn't excited about it, really. Looking back, I wish I would have paid a little bit more attention, but I was being stupid, and I just go into that class, and that was my nap time. What? I need a hot Spanish girl to motivate me. Yes, I do. I really do. That'll get me talking. That'll get me talking. But no, I don't really talk a lot of Spanish. If I did, I would. All right, guys. It is. Oh, it's past 8:30. Okay, final question. I know I said two more. Last one. Fire it off. Next one gets it. Next person to type up their question gets it. No matter how crazy it is, no matter how silly it is, I will answer it. Well, that's not a question. Say something in Spanish. That is a statement. That's not a question. The only thing I can say in Spanish, like sometimes the only thing I say in Spanish is "buen trabajo, amigo," right? It's good work or good job. You know, I like saying that. Yeah, ¿cómo estás? All that stuff. Yeah, but I always say "buen trabajo." I like saying that. What angle do you keep your tablet at? Okay, this one's coming in from Party Cubs, and this is the final question, so we are gonna make it epic. You want to know what angle I hold my tablet at, Cubs? Perfectly straight. Perfectly flat on the desk. However, when I'm working on the Cintiq at work, it is actually more at this angle. Like if I'm standing, and this is the Cintiq, granted, you know, it's a display tablet, not this, I'm usually actually working like this at work. And for some reason, I've kind of gotten used to it. And when I come home and I work on the Wacom flat like this, it doesn't bother me because I'm like looking at the screen while I'm drawing. So, yeah, that is the epic angle that I work at. So, with that, we are going to finish this week's Q&A session for the KNKL pool party. Thank you guys so much for coming down once again to the KNKL show pool party again. I just repeated that whole thing. Thank you guys once again for coming out and showing your support. Once again, it has been my pleasure to party with you, dance with you this night. Yeah, you can expect that clip of me dancing earlier to go on YouTube along with this later on. So thank you guys once again. I'm going to go ahead and stop the broadcast. And yeah, I will see you guys next Saturday.